Elena, how's the squad looking after the midweek excursions? How's the squad feeling ahead of this one?
Obviously buzzing after the game a little bit, but also gutted. I think the girls deserve so much more because of that performance. Obviously we're off yesterday, so this is the first time I see Lucy, and then soon I'll see the rest of them. But well, there's no reasons why we shouldn't be all very, very excited for Sunday today.
How do you assess what challenges Sunday brings you?
Challenges, I mean, we're playing against a good opponent. We know what kind of a team Rangers are, what the threats are, how we can exploit them. But it's another challenge just like we've had so far. So for me, it's just more about building on to what we've been doing lately. I think what we showed against Glasgow City, what we showed against Chelsea the other night, and now we're just going to look forward to set the game plan for Rangers and being excited for the game.
It's been a huge couple of games. I mean, for the players especially, it must take a lot out of them. How much of a concern is it that this is the third game in a row, a huge game as well in a week? Is there a concern in that, or are you expecting your players to be roaring from minute one?
We actually talked about the schedule before we went into the schedule to see how many games we play, accept that, but also like how we can look forward to the challenges. And so far, I think the players have been responding great, and I don't think that they have their focus anywhere else than how we can create a great performance again.
There's always a huge bit of spice when a derby match comes around, but in terms of getting a result in this one, just how big would that be with everything so tight at the top?
I think we've been talking about it, like when we face challenges like this with so many games ahead, and also like what kind of opponent we've been facing. I think we said it together as a team, is like how do we everything is about how we get into that challenge. Like, do we think, oh, it's hard, or oh my god, like boohoo, or we are actually excited and we're looking forward to it. And I think you can see that in the players. 120 minutes against Glasgow City, and that performance they did against Chelsea, and now I don't think that they're happy. I think they want more, and they should want more because we have a great quality in the team.
Take it that means you want more then, I suppose, coming up against this
so,
one.
Yeah.
How much are the players looking forward to this one though?
Yeah, I think after Thursday we have a bit of fire in our stomach. We do anyway, but I think just like Elena said, we felt a bit hard done to. We can give more. So going into Sunday, there's no reason why we won't be able to do that again.
Is there a feeling of laying down a statement whenever you come up against Rangers and you manage to get a win? Is that another driving factor that you get the bragging rights of a city?
I think it's the same as any other game, to be honest. We do the same things that we would do against Rangers as we would do against any other team. Obviously it's a good occasion, we can really sell ourselves there. But yeah, same as any other game.
How much have you seen within the squad the growth coming up against, the likes of Chelsea's and whatnot, pitting yourselves against the very, very best? And how much can that help when you come back to domestic matches against the likes of Rangers and Glasgow City and whatnot?
I think that's what we were saying in the changing room after the game. Like, if we can do that on a Thursday, why can't we go and do it on a Sunday? Like, it just shows the strength that we had in our squad. No matter who comes in, who comes out, it doesn't really matter because they show the same performance week in and week out.
She means Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is what I mean. There's a lot going on.
It's absolutely fine. You've had a long week. I suppose being title holders as well comes with that added gravitas and whatnot. But how much as well, when you look at the league table, do you want to see yourself at the very top of it? Even though it is still early, there must be a fire to go, right, we finished up top, we want to stay there.
Yeah, it's early days, like we're only in November. I don't know where we were at this point last season, but it was probably around the same mark. I think it was still neck and neck then. It was neck and neck right to the very last game. I think it makes it every more exciting. As you can see, there's like Hearts and Hibs up there as well. And I think that just shows how good the league is getting and the quality that it has. Teams are taking points off teams, and it just shows what we need to do, and every game is just as important as the next one.
I wanted to ask about Stella Barkley in particular. She scored the equaliser in the last game against Rangers when you were full of praise for the team. She's a player who has come in and out of the starting 11 depending on the games that have been played, and I just wondered what the qualities that you see in her are when you do start her and what you expect her to put up against an opponent.
Cici, she's a great person. As a player, her X factor is in the defensive qualities. You can see that how she defended against Lina Casedo, how she defended against Baltimore, or on the other side, like she's a great 1v1 defender. We're trying to make her more attacking, more confident in attacking play, and obviously she scored against Rangers, so you can see that she's been working with that. And then obviously, like when we look at the opponent we play, we want to see the strength they have and how we can avoid that or how we can be aware of that. And then the same thing is how we can exploit the other team. So it depends really on the opponents we face as well. So that's why she's been a bit in and out. But every time she plays, I know that she will give everything she has for the team.
We've talked about it a bit, but that kind of keeping the momentum and keeping the energy from the game on Wednesday, how you talked about how you sort of prepared for that before the schedule, but in practical terms, how do you sustain that energy and that momentum for Sunday?
Obviously, we need to talk about highlighting from the game a little bit on the Wednesday, but I think we don't have so much time to talk too much about that. We need to save it for next week when we face Chelsea again. Today is all about trying to talk about the game plan, talking about the analyze, like the opposition analysis, and then try to do something in training, but not too much because we have players who've been playing a lot. And then the players that didn't play more, they train more. And then tomorrow it's the -1, and that's where we do more tactical training. But it's not so much time, but the girls have been really, really good at adapting and being switched on. So we don't need more time.
Lucy, I know we're here to talk about the game on Sunday, but I just want to go back to the game on Wednesday and talk about, we saw your reaction to the goal when it went in from Murphy Agnew, and I just want to talk us through how that felt seeing that go in.
Yeah, it was crazy. I have watched my reaction back a few times. I still don't know what I was saying. I think I could probably guess. But good job, it might need bleeping out. But it's just when Murphy gets in that sort of position, you kind of know it's just one thing that's going to happen. I was waiting for a little slide ball across, getting the goal, but that's fine. I'll let Murphy have it.
Talking of that, can we expect a long-range screamer from you maybe on Sunday? Another one of those?
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see what I can do. But I'd like to do that. I'd like to do about 3 of them as well, so that'll be nice.
And just you've been involved in quite a number of these fixtures now against Rangers. Having come into this side and kind of got to know the character of football in the city, does it have a different feel to you when you go into a Rangers game?
Yeah, coming up to Glasgow, I had no idea. Well, I've obviously heard of Celtic and Rangers, but like I've come from Manchester and Liverpool rivalries, and even that is nothing compared to what goes on up there. Like, it is mental, and it just brings you out even more into these games. I obviously did my knee against Rangers the first time I played them, and I think I have a bit of more angst about it than that because feel like I have something to prove, sort of thing. So it's nice to come back, be able to play those fixtures and not have to be nervous about them anymore and just go in full whack.
Amazing. And just one question quickly about the squad and the availability and any injuries that we might not know about. Obviously, you were asked about how Colette Kavanagh was at the end of the game on Wednesday, and you said she was fine. Is that still?
Yeah, I think she had a dead leg, and I think she will be fine. I think Kit and Hannah will still be out of the squad.
But everyone else has
Everyone else, and Caitlin is back.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Elena, I was just going to ask, you mentioned about obviously other teams like Hearts and Houston up there as well. I was wondering, given how much more points there are likely to be dropped by those two teams over this year, how does that impact how you go into these games? Whereas last year they might all have been a must-win, everyone's like 6-pointers almost. Whereas now you may be expecting more points to be dropped. Does that change how you approach these games? No.
I think Lucy is also highlighting sometimes is like, obviously, like we always go into a game to win, and that's never going to change. That's what we're supposed to do because we play for Celtic or we have Celtic badge on the chest. But like seriously, like now when we think, you know, you guys have been talking about the goal difference and etc. Lucy said it after a game once, like, as long as we win, that's the most important. And that's something that we're going to try to do for every game we face is we want to win. And how we win, we want to play the best football we can as much as possible. We want to score as many goals as possible. The most important is that we win our games. And that's going to be our focus.
Yeah, we're kind of coming up quite quickly, I suppose, to that winter break. There's only 3 league games left before then. Do you take that as where you'll be in the league at that point, or is that kind of relevant to you guys?
What do you mean?
As in, like, once you get to the winter break, if you were top at winter break, is that any different if you end up still being 4th at winter?
The most important is how it looks like when we end the season.
Yeah, I'd like to ask as well, given about Rangers, obviously have a lot of firepower, play every striker they can sometimes. I just wondered how you guys defend against that. Obviously against Chelsea, you did between a back 5 and a back 4 at times. Do you think you have to do something similar against Rangers?
We're going to do what we think is the best to do. If it's a 4 or if it's a 5, that's something you'll see on Sunday.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about kind of the squad, how you've all handled this. Obviously, talking about I think 7 games, 21 days, and obviously kind of getting confused what day it is and stuff like that. I just wondered how you think the players and also the staff have dealt with that kind of increase in, I guess, demand.
I think the staff do really well, like monitoring our numbers, monitoring which amount of things that we should be doing. Like today, the girls that played quite a lot of minutes, like you've got like Shannon McGregor, who's probably done about 45k in the last 7 days, so should not be touching that pitch hopefully. But there's like, that's what the strength in our squad shows, that we can. It doesn't really matter the amount of games that we've got, because again, whoever comes on can put on the same performance as whoever started that game as well.
Elena, I was wondering, obviously disappointed at your last 2 Champions League results, but you're playing against a very high level of opposition, and I'm sure that there's things you've learned from that experience. I was wondering what impressed you about Real Madrid and Chelsea, about their play, that you think might benefit you. What did they do well that you noticed that you can possibly incorporate into Celtic's play going forward to help you become a better team?
To be honest, the most I'm pleased about is how we've been playing and how we've been adapting. To be honest, I feel like how we play football has been something that other teams maybe we should look at, because we play against high quality player and we still manage to play through the pressure and we still manage to create chances. And also how well we've been defending against top quality players and top quality teams has been something that I'm really, really happy about. So to be honest, I'm just really happy with how the girls have been showing up and being confident and brave, because that's what I've been most impressed about, is how our players have been showing. But obviously, I think something that has been a good, I don't know how to say that in English, but eye opener maybe, I don't know, is like their fitness, like how many high maximum actions they can do every time. Like it goes fast, and that's something that we are gonna work on in progress in a long term. But in the same time, I think, like I said, I'm more pleased and impressed about how the players have been cooperating and adapting and doing a great performances.
Yeah, and in general, do you feel that being exposed to that level of European opposition will help you? Will give you confidence at least that you can compete?
Since we've came to this competition, obviously it's the highest stage you can perform in, if I say so. I think we've been saying it from the start is we want to compete, but we're also here to learn and grow as a team. And if you ask Lucy, I think people or players in the team feels like, we're not that far away. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think Thursday. Oh my God,
Wednesday.
I cannot keep it.
Wednesday.
But Wednesday, I think that just gave us it showed us that we can do it. We might have had doubt in ourselves, but as a team, we can go and put on performances like that, and there's no reason why we can't do that in future competitions like this.
You obviously fought back and got a result the last time you played Rangers, but how important is a 90-minute performance this time around and not giving them that head start playing from kick-off to the final whistle?
Who did you ask?
You take it.
Should I take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the boss.
Okay. No, obviously, I think when we started against Rangers, we had the ball. We couldn't. We broke through the pressure, but we didn't create any chances, which also I think can make the players a bit frustrated. But in the same time, I think they also got the feeling for halftime, like, okay, we can actually do it. And I think that belief needs to be there from the start, because we didn't play Rangers before, and that was the first game. So I think for me, it's more about that, being confident from the start and being brave from the start, and showing how much we want to win the game, and not wait until halftime, because I think you can see a different desire and different energy in the second half than the first. So that's something that I think is going to be very important for this game.
Thank you.
I just wondered, Lucy described how she sees this derby. How do you see this derby with Rangers? How would you describe the atmosphere, the colour, the noise, the rivalry between Celtic and Rangers?
I love it. There's a different atmosphere around it. Obviously, there's two teams that wants to do everything they can to win. I'm not gonna say anything bad about Rangers. I think they're a great team. So are we. And it's a lot of passion in those games, and that's something that makes everything more excited and more fun for me.
Do you need to calm yourself down more, or do you get yourself more riled up for these kind of matches?
No comment.
No, I don't know. I feel like I'm always me. But I think it also comes to, like, when I'm more passionate on the sidelines, because I want them to be more passionate and more, fired up. But maybe I need to be a bit more calm, because I've had some yellow cards so far.
Do you get fined for your own yellow cards, just in case you get rid of them?
Maybe we should have something
No,
on the
let's
fine.
not do that. Natalie Ross would be skinned.